Hey, Jensen.
What's up?
Hey guys, just give me a few minutes. I'll be back.
Samir,
Sure.
Radhika, all set?
Hello.
Yeah, Radhika, all set? You're the opening speaker, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm actually right now in the metro station, so I'm not.
Okay, no
You-
problem. Yeah, good. No.
I'll just go home and log in from my computer.
Okay, cool. All the best.
Thank you. Same to you.
Yeah.
What was the meeting you were
Hi,
talking
Rupa.
about, Jensen?
Hi, Jensen.
All set?
Hey.
Not yet, yeah. Don't ask me that question. Hi, Nikhil. Hi, Sameer. Hi, Jinesh.
Hi, Rupa.
I'm curious to know if people hadn't responded, then what would your next GIF have been?
I don't know, maybe just my hand.
Good one.
Yeah. Hi, Raina.
Cool haircut, Jinesh.
Yeah, I did. I removed all my hairs 1 month back. Jensen, do we have all the judges? And
Not yet, so they will all be coming in.
okay,
Steven is the chief judge, so he will know if all the judges are in or not. So once he
Okay.
says okay, then you can take them to the breakout room if they need briefing.
okay, yes. Can you send me the agenda on WhatsApp?
Yeah, okay, sure. I'll send it to now. Oh, you didn't get the agenda, is it?
Not really.
Sorry about it. One second. I've sent it to you. There is a small change in the agenda though. So after the sergeant at arms, it will directly go to the debate moderator. The president won't be giving the opening address.
Okay. Say it to moderator. Yeah. Okay.
Hi Falak, hi Lakshmi, how are you?
Hi, sorry, you said something? Did
I said
someone?
hi Falak.
Hi, Jensen. Sorry, don't look at me that way. I know I'm supposed to call you. And Leo reminded me today and I'm like, shit, I forgot. I'll call you.
Yeah, no problem. We'll talk after the meeting or maybe tomorrow.
Yes.
How could you do this, Palak?
What, Sameer?
How could you do this to him?
Don't. Come on,
How
Sameer.
can you?
You're already in the spirit of a debate, I see.
No, I'm the moderator, so I don't have any spirit.
Do we have everyone here yet? No, right?
It seems the podcasters team is here. Debatable team is yet to arrive.
Yeah, see, we are always on time.
Yep. Hi Robin, hi Lakshmi.
Hi guys, how are you? Hi Sameer.
Oh, nice background.
Thank you.
Robin always has a background for the occasion.
I don't know about that. How are you doing?
For
Hi,
DD,
Nikhil.
for DD, for contestant, for speaker, it's always something different. Good.
Hi Rupa, Lakshmi, hi. Hi Jensen.
Hi, Robin. Hi, Lakshmi.
And who else is there?
Looks like Robin's going to have the last word today.
If you allow me, I'll be very happy. No, in the sequence, that means the for team, the summary speaker speaks last.
Yes, so you are the last speaker for this. You have the last word.
That's good.
It was very strategically placed. You'll evaluate the entire.
In 2 minutes, yes, I will do that. Who is the timer? Let me speak to him in private.
That's a her, not a him.
Who's that?
Nimi, Toastmaster Nimi Sebastian.
Nimi, okay. Hi, Nimi.
Hello.
Hi. Room master is Jinesh. Okay. I think good we combined 2 debates. Otherwise, I think only 5-6 people would have been there. Now at least we have all the 6 teams there. I request the other 4 teams to also stay back, because results will anyway be announced after our debate, right?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
No.
We will all stay back.
Good to have some audience.
How are we doing the timer thing? Is you're directly going to unmute the people, right? I mean,
Mute.
sorry, mute the
Mute,
people.
mute.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So there'll be, I think, a
So-
10 seconds grace, and then we will
10
mute the
seconds.
speakers. Yeah.
So will you make me co-host then, Jensen?
Yes, I think am I the co-host?
I
Yes, I
will,
think.
I'll make it. I'll do it.
Yeah, Jinesh. Just make Samir also the co-host as the moderator. Jinesh.
Call
Yeah,
them
sure.
So that we
Samir
can just
and Nimi,
everyone.
and maybe the chief judge also. So I think this is enough.
Nimi will unmute mute the speakers after the interest.
Yes, yes. Even I'm a co-host, right? Good. Okay. Make
Yeah.
Samir also is the moderator.
Yeah, yes.
Hey,
In
Ahmad,
case
how are
I-
you doing?
Jensen,
Yes.
in case any technical glitches are there, if my connection fails or anything, what will you do? Do we have a?
You will need a backup timer in case your connection fails, no? Okay. If that is
But
the
your
case,
photo looks as animated as you, man. How do you manage that? How are you doing, Ahmed?
Hello, Robin. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Nice to
I'm one second.
So it's going to be a fun night.
It is.
Absolutely.
Gonna be fantastico.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. Yeah.
Talkatives of the town in one group, no?
How's Muscat, Robin? All good?
Yeah, very good. It's snowing here, actually. But
There's,
we are in lockdown, so I can't see. I have to just
Yeah.
look out the window.
it looks like this lockdown is not going to leave us anytime soon.
I'm just
Hopefully
saying,
soon.
whenever the lockdown is over, we should all be, alive and kicking. That's more important.
That's more important than anything else. True. So who's the timer? Nimi. Nice. Hello, Nimi. So it's very quiet here tonight. What's happening? Everybody's focused on the debate.
Yeah, I'm just reading and rereading.
Yeah,
the
everyone
speech
is like,
here.
Let me prepare. Let me prepare quickly.
Nikhil has very high expectations.
Yeah.
I was on my phone Instagramming. It's interesting to know everyone's researching. No pressure at all.
Yeah, no pressure, no pressure. I could see everybody's just looking around like that, though.
What are you saying? Instagram is research.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Now that I knew that's the reason people use it, I can, say it in fun.
Anyway, we have 1 hour to go, so I think that should be good enough for Instagram.
Very true, very true.
Hi, everyone.
Hello,
How
hello.
are you doing?
Yeah, Adil looks really prepared. He
Absolutely.
looks very confident.
See, like in cricket, the IPL, all batsmen wear the helmet. He's already ready, fully.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he's like, bring it on, boy, bring it on.
Hi, Priyanka, how are you doing?
Hi, Priyanka. We can't hear you yet.
You're on mute, Priyanka.
She first rehearses, then only unmutes herself. That's a good idea, actually.
That's a nice idea.
Are we allowed to do that as contestants? Can I first do 2 minutes in mute and then again?
Okay, hello everyone. I
Hi.
think now all of you can hear me, right? Okay,
Yes.
hi.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Yes, Toastmaster Priyanka.
Nice
I have
to
a
see
bone
all
to
of
pick
you.
with you
Same.
from the previous debate. No, joking.
Yeah, I know you were badly looking for the recording after the video. After the meeting, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
So who is here from the Debatable Club? I think it's... Oh, okay.
That is debatable now.
Yeah, that is debatable. Yeah, there was silence, and I'm like, what's going on? Where are the Debatables?
We have three of them here. I think.
Well, I'm a debatable. I mean, I am from debatable.
But are you debating?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. All the best.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Somebody started some music.
Yeah, it's a meditation.
You like it, Lakshmi? Should I play some other note?
No, it's not. I was not sure because Akash has the habit of connecting different devices to my laptop and this.
Oh,
So
all of a sudden, everyone became very sober, right?
Yes. DJ,
it's that
Robin.
classic music. It's that effect. Calm before the storm.
you don't have to worry. We are not in person to be judging each other up. You don't agree with my use? How dare you?
Yeah, true.
I'm in the rebuttal team. Okay, here you go. Do you agree that you are wrong? No?
There's a lot of rebuttal. Everybody's a rebuttal here tonight. I see 4 people already. Nelson is rebuttal. Ken is rebuttal.
See, what does this show? Actually, with the way COVID lockdown, everyone is like literally waiting for a fight to punch up someone.
You need some action, right, in life.
I'm very pleased, I'm very consistent. Whether school or college, I never prepared, and in the last minute, I'm usually grabbing the notes from someone else to see what they are studying and trying to figure out if I have studied it or not. In the
Lakshmi,
same manner.
Didn't you use the same technique last time when you said this and then you were very well prepared?
No, yeah. Actually, Robin, why I do customer complaints? I can think on my feet. But you give me a proper project to do it systematically structured, I'll be bored. I can think on my feet, do something, and it will be still something that is acceptable. Go away from it.
Robin, back in school we used to have these.
She's so well prepared. She's so well prepared that she took my script and she's reading it now.
Oh God.
No, I just came for this briefing because I wanted to be clear the topic we are discussing is the right one.
The briefing is going to start. Do we have all the contestants over here?
A, D1, D3, rebuttal closing. Where is that opener?
We
is
have
not
to
here.
rename. So somebody has renamed for me.
Can we get
someone's
the
still
music
following.
switched off, please?
Man, this is a fantastic group. I didn't even need to move my finger. My name is
Yeah,
renamed
we've been
already.
renamed, right? We've been
Wow.
rechristened.
Thank God my face looks the same. Otherwise, I would have been looking around for my video.
All right. Now,
Actually, first when I saw the name change, I didn't know whether it was Akash attacking my laptop again and giving out some new name. And then I looked around. Oh, okay. it's not Akash this time.
All right. So I'm going to mute everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're not able to unmute yourself for some time because I have to give you the contestant briefing, which is going to happen right now. We're not going to go into a breakout room or anything. We'll do it right here. And let me just quickly mention to you the rules of the game, how you do it. How many of you are here? Can we have everyone on camera who is contesting? All the contestants over here on camera? All right. Now, how many of you are attempting a debate contest for the first time? No one. Fantastic. Makes my life easier. So there are a few small things that nevertheless has to be mentioned over here, which I will be reiterating during there'll be parts of the introduction that I'll be doing for the guests, but here right now I'll be going a little more detail about the contest. So like, the sequence is going to be where the opening speaker from proposition and opposition. This is how I'll be terming your teams. So I'll not be saying for or against, I'll be using proposition and opposition for your teams, what I'll be calling you guys. And so team proposition starts, team opposition opening second, team opposition rebuttal third, team proposition rebuttal fourth, team opposition closing fifth, and team proposition closing last, number 6. So that'll be the sequence. Now, each one of you will have the rebuttal and the opening speaker will have 2 minutes to 3 minutes. So at 2 minutes will be green, 2 minutes, 30 seconds will be amber, and you'll have red at 3 minutes. And then 10 seconds grace. And then after that, the timer will mute the speaker. So timer, we are aligned on that, right? So you will mute the speaker at 3 minutes and 10 seconds for opening and rebuttal. For the closing speaker, they'll have 1 minute green, 1 minute 30 seconds amber, and 2 minutes they will have red. And then after the 10 seconds for winding up, and then after that they mute. So there's no disqualification because everyone will be qualified no matter what. The next thing, so some very important things that I'm going to share over here, please be careful about these. The results will be announced by the chief judge, will be final, and no protest can be lodged once the results are announced. Protest will be entertained on the grounds of eligibility, good standing member, or personal accusation, personal attack, abuses, discriminatory remarks, or abusive language. Protest, if any, should be lodged either with the chief judge or with the debate moderator. A maximum of 5 minutes grace period will be given for the contestant to join back and resume his speech from where they left off. This will be in the event of any technical glitches. If any participant within a debate faces a problem and they're not able to come back, the entire debate will be cancelled. All right. So it is not going to be that they will come back with the topic and speak later, because once the opening speaker has spoken, and if there is a technical glitch later on, then it will be undue advantage for someone who has a longer time to prepare and come back afterwards. So therefore, this is the case. And also, we don't have backup speakers. So therefore, nobody will be able to take that position and step in. The timer will note that at which the contestant lost connection and lies with the chief judge on the same. When the speaker begins again, he will be informed of his remaining time, and he or she can continue from this point in their speech where she got disconnected. The contestant will get an extra 10 seconds for their 2 or 3 minutes speaking. These are some of the ground rules. Apart from this, if there's any questions, you may ask them right now. Okay, I can unmute you guys. You can unmute yourself and ask anything. Is there any doubts or anything that you would like to clarify further?
I have
Yes.
a question.
Yes.
So besides the direct muting and unmuting bit that will happen at the end of the timing session of a speaker, is there any other way that we'll be seeing the timing? Like, I know
So there is a timer, and I mentioned that green
cards
and
are also going to be shown, right?
So can you just show this, Nimi, how the green will be? You can pin the timer. Timer is Nimi Sebastian. Can you see it?
Oh, yes, I can see that.
Yeah. So green, amber, and red.
Perfect.
Amber looks more yellow, but yes. Anything else apart from this? So what I'm going to do right now is I am going to.
Sorry, quick one.
Yes, go ahead.
Could I have this contest briefing script afterwards?
Contest briefing script?
Whatever you just read out.
Yeah,
for laters.
Who is this?
It's Nikhil.
Nikhil, he didn't read out. He just he is a.
I think money out of this.
I'll get the recording. Thank you.
I'll give it. I'll send it to you. So just one quick thing I want to do over here. Give me a second. So I'm just going to read out the team proposition for the first debate. If there is any changes, please let me know. Nikhil is opening, Jensen is rebutting, and Raji is closing. For team opposition, Snigdha is opening, Praveen is rebutting, and Meena is closing. I will be using only your first names. For the second debate, we have Radhika opening, Priyanka rebutting, Simi closing. For team opposition, we have Saif opening, Rupa rebutting, Lini closing. And for the last debate, we have Adil opening for proposition, Falak rebutting, Robin closing. And for team opposition, we have Alifia opening, Ahmad rebutting, and Lakshmi closing. Is it all okay? Any changes in the sequence?
Samir, just 1 second. I just want everybody to go through your, just see the names that you all have been given and make sure it is the right names. Can you all confirm that? I've renamed all the contestants. So if there is any mistakes in that, just let us know.
So are your teammates here, all of you? Please make sure because we will be starting.
Excuse me, Jensen, can you rename me? I'm still driving. Thanks.
Alifia is missing, I think. Yes, Alifia is missing. I'll text her.
Falak was here. I don't know now. Where is Falak?
Falak is there.
I'm still very much here.
Yeah, Falak is right there.
Oh, you switched off the video, so I thought.
Yeah, very much here, very much here.
So there is a slight, if each one of you can rename yourself instead of F and A, because we are not doing for and against, we are doing proposition and opposition. So if you're for, just put it as P, and if you're...
Yeah, I'll do it for everybody.
Okay. And one more rule is if you all want to take part in this debate, then all of you should spread the message the debate is happening and invite your family, friends, relatives, enemies, and anyone and everyone, your bosses, to attend this session right now.
I invited my family. They said you debate at home too much, so I'm not coming.
Should I invite kids?
Yes, we can unmute everyone. So Ahmed has used an excuse which nobody else can use anymore. So
exactly. Yeah. It's copyright.
But go ahead, invite members from your other clubs or friends.
Yeah.
It'll be an interesting
I think most of them might join in at 7.
And I think it infuses an energy into the speakers as well when you see that there is a bigger audience. So
True.
I've seen Robin get excited when there is, 100 plus or in the audience members. He's a different animal then.
Amir, are you trying to say I'm not excited because we have only 25?
Is it more excited?
Absolutely. Now I have to put more energy.
We'll be watching, Robin.
Yeah, man.
Can everybody confirm if the F&A has been changed to P&O?
Yours is still showing as F.
Whose?
Yours. You are also a contestant.
Okay. Yes. Where is my? Okay. Yes. Okay.
The rest, I think, yeah, it's showing piano.
Samir, in fact, there's another idea when the debate is going on, except for the 6 speakers, I believe everybody's cameras will be off, right? And the timer.
Yeah, so what we'll have to do, the host has to do something about it, right?
No, one is the Sergeant at Arms can give a message that, only these people's cameras should be on, and people can select from video settings only the videos that are on to be displayed. So it will be a nice thing. Only 6 screens will be seen.
But I think the host can do something about it.
Yeah, yes, Amir, I can forcefully close the videos if there is any non-participant as videos on. I can do that. I can force stop
I
that.
think the audience needs to still do it in the video settings. Otherwise, they may still continue to see those blank windows.
Yeah, they need to hide the non-video participants. So there is an option for that.
Yeah, from the video setting.
Yeah, they can simply click on any. Yeah.
But I've seen events where I didn't have an option to put my video on. I didn't have, sometimes there is an option where it just gets disabled. You cannot be present even if you want to.
Samir,
That happens when once the host stops some particular video, then that person cannot turn it on by himself. Then host need to allow him. There is no direct way to disable.
Good evening.
Good evening,
I
Chief Judge.
missed you first, Chief Judge.
Hi, Samir. Good evening, everyone.
Renamed.
Samir, can you please put the speaking order in the chat box, please?
Yeah.
The for and against proposition, opposition in the chat box.
Hi, Alicia. How are you?
I'm awesome. How are you?
Good. Jensen, I think she needs to be renamed.
Why? Okay.
Why you don't
came
like
late, so you are being renamed now. Late comer.
I'm getting baptized after that.
So we have everyone from all the 3 teams here? Yes, no, I think we are.
I think Praveen is yet to come. Spartans, can you check with Praveen? Snagda?
Yes, I'll just check with him.
We are 1 minute to go.
Rupa, you're on 2 devices, right?
Yeah, I think she's driving, but she's on 2
Jensen, did you ask
devices.
me something?
No, just checking.
I am on 2 connections.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes, I'm on 2 connections. Temporarily, I will, by 7:30, I will withdraw from one of them.
Cool. Just wanted to confirm. Okay.
Yeah. But you get to speak only once, Rupa, still.
No, I was just trying my chance, Robin. I mean, if at all,
So for novelty, you may get some points. You know, Stephen was looking very carefully at you.
Praveen would be joining in a while.
It's 7:01.
Jasmine, you may begin. I mean, yeah, shall we begin or? Okay, Jasmine, over to you.
Hi, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this unique meeting of two club debate contest, Debatable and Podcasters. Myself is Jasmine, and I'm the sergeant of the day of the meeting. Before we begin, a few rules for us to follow. Kindly stay muted if you are not the authorized or assigned speaker. Please refrain from the very interesting but taboo topics, politics, sex, and religion. If you are eating or if there is any distracting activities are happening where you are, please you may switch off your video. Please use generously the emojis to applause and encourage all the speakers, role models, and role players and debaters. Kindly refrain from the chat box while the debate is happening. Toastmaster Club mission is to provide supportive, positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop their communication and leadership skills, resulting in self-confidence and personal growth. Today's meeting will be 2 hours long, and the person to moderate today's debate contest is charming and fun-loving personality. He is the founder and curator of two talk shows, The Awesome Worker and The Turning Point, also the author of The Awesome Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the one and only Samir GP.
Thank you very much, Jasmine, for the wonderful introduction.
Thank you.
Really excited to be here, especially because I'm not going to be a contestant. I don't have to debate. Nobody can debate with me. Whatever I say is final, and you just have to accept what I say. That's it. So wonderful to have each one of you over here for a very interesting evening. Even though 3 interesting topics has been ruled out by Jasmine, I think we still have 3 interesting topics over which we'll all debate today. And let me pull in my presentation before we begin. Can you all see my screen? And am I audible? All right. So we're having debate of 2 clubs, but that does not mean they're debating with each other. They're debating within themselves. So today Podcasters is debating with Podcasters, and Debatable Toastmasters Club is debating among the members of Debatable Toastmasters Club. Few rules of the...
0% for so long.
Was there a message for me? No, it wasn't. I'm the one who gives messages here now. So the rules of the game.
Deleted because of storage.
I got to mute someone over here. Who is that? We got to mute or no unmuting for a while. I'm in charge. All right. So we have the rules of the game, which will be shared right now. And the first is this. We have 2 teams who will be competing, and they'll be called team proposition and team opposition. You can see the sequence at which they will be competing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is team proposition who will be competing first as the opening speaker. team opposition opening next, team opposition rebutting third, team proposition rebutting fourth, team opposition closing number 5, and team proposition closing number 6. Now, for the benefit of the guests who are here and would like to know, we've already had the contestant briefing, and the opening and rebuttal speakers will have green at 2 minutes, amber at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and red at 3 minutes. And closing will be, for the closing speakers, they'll have green at 1 minute, amber at 1 minute 30 seconds, and red at 2 minutes. And they'll have 10-second grace. After each speaker, there will be a 45-second timer, please note, for the judges to mark their ballots. What can you say? As an opening speaker, you're allowed to bring in new material, both the teams. As a rebuttal speaker, you're advised, or you cannot bring in new material, otherwise the judges will mark you down. And as a rebuttal speaker, you will only rebut the content that is given from the opening speaker, whether it is your own opening speaker or the one from the opposite side, you decide. So if you want to rebut your own speaker, I would advise not to do that, but go for the team who is against you and rebut the opening speaker. The closing speaker, again, is advised not to bring in new material. You will conclude by taking content from the opening and rebuttal speaker of your own teams. If you have any dispute, and I don't mean to the guests, but any contestant, if you have a dispute, or the judges, if you have a dispute, please bring it to the chief judge or to my notice, and we will take it into consideration. The chief judge today is a charming and wonderful Toastmaster, Stephen George. Now, Stephen George has immense power today. And the power he has is he is the only one who can pause the contest. If there is anything during the contest and it has to be paused by force, and I don't mean technical ones, technical glitches, because he's not going to come to your house and stop your internet over there. But he has the power to put a pause to the contest if there is anything. Now the winners. About the winners today, we'll have the winning team for each debate announced. We'll also have the winners for each club announced as the best opening speaker, best rebuttal speaker, and best closing speaker for each club, who will progress into the next round of contest. Chief Judge, are we ready to go?
Yes, we are. But before that, Jinesh, we need to have one more backup timer in case something happens to the main principal timers. This one. So can you keep your also on just in case Nimi's timing?
Yeah.
Okay,
Sure,
I need
sure.
that urgently. Apart from that, good to go.
So I'm sorry, but we are not ready to go yet. I have to announce the team who is going to compete first before we can actually take the kickoff call. So we have the Debatable Club, which is going to kick off the debate, and for the benefit of the judges, team proposition will be represented by the opening speaker, Nikhil. Team rebuttal will be by Jensen, and team closing will be by Reggie. Judges, please note. And for the opposition, we'll have opening speakers Snigdha, rebuttal speaker Praveen, and closing speaker Meena. And the topic that they will be debating on is net neutrality should be restored. I hope the judges have taken note of the contestants and the topic. Now going back to the chief judge, are we ready to kick off the first debate?
Sure, let's go ahead.
All right. So let me just check once again. Does all of them have the ability to unmute? You have the ability to unmute yourself. Timer is ready. Okay. All right. All right, let's get this rolling. For debate 1, net neutrality should be restored. We have team proposition opening speaker. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Nikhil.
Toastmaster Samir, shall I proceed?
Yes.
Good evening, Toastmasters. Imagine this. A website is working normally as it should, but it takes 10 minutes to load for a person accessing it in the village, while it takes only 10 seconds to load for a person accessing it in the city. Turns out it's the same internet service provider and the same infrastructure. So why the disparity? Fellow Toastmasters, we face this issue of discrimination time and again, and net neutrality is nothing but another avenue for discrimination rearing its head in the disguise of the internet. Net neutrality is the principle that internet service providers must treat all internet communications equally and not discriminate or charge differently based on user, content, website, platform, application, etc. So why should net neutrality be restored? Here's 4 reasons why. If we won't, then it would create the internet 1%. What is the 1%, you ask? Well, 1% of the world's population controls almost 50% of the world's wealth, according to poverty eradication nonprofit Oxfam. In 2004, a study showed that internet traffic was more or less equally distributed, but fast forward 10 years, and that same study shows that half of the internet traffic originated only from 30 companies. And this source is from Macmillan. Point number 2, net neutrality protects free speech. The internet as it exists today is an open forum for free speech and freedom of expression. Websites publishing both popular and unpopular viewpoints are treated equally, and how their data gets to servers to screens. So think about it. If ISPs were allowed to charge extra money for access to internet and last mile fast lanes, the playing field for free speech will not be equal anymore. Those with the money to pay for special treatment could broadcast their opinions more quickly than those without. Activists, artists, and political outsiders, they would suffer. And this is according to the Cyber Law Department from Stanford University. Point number 3, monopoly of ISPs. Net neutrality calls attention to ISP monopolies. Even Tim Wu, the person who coined the term net neutrality, argues that the real issue isn't fast lanes, but rather increasing competition among ISPs, the high barrier to entry for smaller. And lastly, the more important one for me and our team is because democracy of information is possible. There are countries that have done it. According to the Finnish Telecom Regulatory Authority to audit and ensure every citizen has access to 1 Mbps internet and to improve this to a minimum of 10 Mbps. So join my team to resolve this motion that net.
Thank you. Now we'll have 45 seconds timer, please note, for the judges to mark the ballots. Please time and let me know with a red. All right. For the topic, net neutrality should be restored. We have now the team opposition opening speaker. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Snigdha.
Thank you, Samir. Can I start?
Yes, please go ahead.
A very good evening to our esteemed judges, members of the House, and fellow debaters. This is Team Spartans standing against the motion that net neutrality should be restored. The phrase net neutrality, it's pretty simple. It just means that your ISP, your internet service provider, has to treat all the all the data served to customers equally, and they cannot block or throttle any source of data. Now we'll put 3 reasons why this should not happen. Firstly, according to the American Commission, Federal Communications Commission, that during the years when net neutrality was in place in America, the investment in this field, it reduced by 2 to 5%. Now that's a lot. And who does it hamper? It hampers the availability of internet to everyone, and especially the ones living in the rural parts of the country. Now, these are the people who cannot afford to have that higher blanket cost of even basic internet services, such as Wikipedia. Secondly, net neutrality hampers innovation. The Wall Street Journal, back in 2007, it wrote an article that companies or data sources such as YouTube, MySpace, and the blogs that were coming up, they were at severe risk by net neutrality. Why do you ask? Because the systems, the networks that we had, they were not equipped enough to handle that amount of traffic. And prioritization of these networks is very important to get that money to invest in broadband services. Now, if you don't have that bandwidth, what it does is these sites will die down. Let us not imagine a utopian world where businesses, they will invest or they'll create something new just to benefit the entire society and not think about their own well-being, their own business, their own profits. That's not going to happen. Thirdly, the access to objectionable content. If you're not providing your internet service provider with the right to throttle peer-to-peer sharing services, kids will have access to objectionable content, legal or illegal. And this is going to severely affect their mental health. To summarize, just picture a 10-year-old kid or someone you know who has lesser resources than you do, and whose only source to come out of this hellhole is free education of Wikipedia. Are you ready to kill his dreams by restoring net neutrality? I sincerely hope you do not. And with that, we rest our case.
Thank you. Timeout. Please note 45 seconds for the judges to mark the ballots. Thank you. Next, we have team opposition rebuttal speaker. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Praveen.
I would like to pin the timer.
Can you see?
Yeah, I'm just pinning him. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Please go ahead.
Can I start now?
Yes, your time starts.
Good evening, Toastmasters, judges, and fellow contestants. My worthy opponents started the arguments with the word imagine, and that is the entire problem with their line of thinking. They have been imagining things, and they've presented an alternating world which alternates between utopia of free speech, non-discrimination, to a dystopian world where there's discrimination, monopolization, and also anarchy. And between these alternative reality, between these alternative utopian and dystopian world lies the reality. And reality is what they've tried to obfuscate through their arguments. And the reality is that in life, everything need not be equal to be fair. Just look at your Deva bills. Everybody uses water, something as basic as water, but everybody is not charged the same price per unit. It would be unfair to charge the same price per unit to a 2 BHK apartment which uses water only for bathing and cleaning, vis-a-vis a mansion which uses water for jacuzzi, for swimming pool, for lawns, etc. Hence, this notion that everything should be equal to be fair is not the right notion, and one should discard that notion. Now, coming to the four specific points that they presented about net neutrality in their support, I would like to take each of them one by one. The first one was that the internet would be monopolized by the 1%, and they presented Oxfam's report in this case. I would have expected that they would present a report from somebody from a technological group rather than a general Oxfam group. Also, till 2015, when the net neutrality rules first came in the US, the internet was thriving. It was never monopolized by the 1%. Then they talked about free speech. So I would like to ask, before 2015, was there no freedom of speech? And then in 2017, when net neutrality was banned or was removed, was there anything which prevented free speech? Nothing. Then they talked about monopolies. Monopolies means that the monopolistic companies are able to get super high profit margins. If you look at the actual data, which is the three companies in the US, Verizon, Comcast, AT&T, you look at the data from 2010 to 2014 before net neutrality came into place, and then from 2015 to 17, when net neutrality was in place, and 2018 to 20, when it was abolished, we can see that there's no trend which shows that their profits have increased, and hence this argument does not hold water. Plus, there is Progressive Policy Institute, which says that every American has a choice of 5 to 6 internet service providers which they can choose. Then he talked about anarchy and democracy, etc. I think all of these are nothing but anecdote, hypothesis, and hysteria, which is just drummed up in support of his argument. I would request all of you not to fix something which is not broken, not to bring in regulations for something which is not required, and support my team's motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Timer, please note 45 seconds for the judges to mark the ballot. Thank you. To continue, our next speaker will be from Team Proposition, the rebuttal speaker. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Jensen.
Thank you, Samir. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are.
Thank you. Debate moderator, members of the House, my worthy opponents. Today we heard our worthy opponent give some very shallow arguments based on some short-sighted reasons on why they stand against the motion net neutrality should be restored. The first argument to justify their stance was the investment in this particular field effects was very difficult as when during during the era of net neutrality, and it has affected connectivity in rural areas. Now, my question to my oppositions, my worthy opponents is, which year was this? They did not specify which year, and was it because of net neutrality the investments were low in the internet business at that time? Today, if you look at the access to internet world over, there are cases, as mentioned by by our opening speaker Nikhil, where there are governments that have actually successfully implemented the concept of net neutrality, and it is flourishing. So I do not know how genuine or how authentic this argument is presented by our worthy opponents. Their second argument was it affects innovation. It affects innovation, and because systems are not equipped to handle the bandwidth that causes because of restoring net neutrality. Now, here again, how does it affect the poor? Today, if you look at, as again mentioned by Nikhil, our opening speaker, Finland is one of the governments that have implemented net neutrality, and everybody in the country has access to it. So, and is stopping net neutrality the solution to giving access to the poor? I don't think so. The government should actually, the proper solution to that is to increase budgets to improve infrastructure in the country, rather than blaming net neutrality for it. So I do not, what is the logic behind trying to stop net neutrality? These aren't they're addressing totally different problems. And even if we do not restore net neutrality, these problems do not get solved. The third argument was access to objectionable content. Today, kids still have access to objectionable content. So just because you block net neutrality, what are you going to do? You're going to affect you're going to create a far bigger problem and are not going to solve the current problems here again. If you want kids to not have access to objectionable content, have parental guidance and not risk the future of information or the democracy of information that is that can actually progress societies in different ways. So to summarize all their arguments, they have given us very shallow problems, and solving or not restoring net neutrality is not going to solve any of the challenges they've mentioned. So on what grounds are they even fighting the stance? I'm clueless. But again, I hope the audience or the members of this house is not. I urge the members of the house not to fall for such shallow arguments. We have something far greater in discussion here. Please stand with us as we fight for the motion net neutrality should be restored. Thank you.
Thank you. Timer, please note 45 seconds for the judges to mark their ballots. And as an audience, I must say you're all doing amazing by being silent, although you cannot mute yourself or unmute yourself. Still bloody count. 45 seconds. Thank you. Now we are moving to the closing speakers for both the teams. First, we have team opposition, speaker Toastmaster Meena. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Meena. You can unmute yourself.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, perfect. Rapid growth and growth of new technologies and the growing role of internet in society has led us to few controversial aspects regarding net neutrality. And our team stands against the motion that net neutrality should be restored. My opening speaker and the rebuttal speaker very clearly highlighted why why we are against the motion that net neutrality should be restored. My opening speaker Snigdha very clearly said that investments investments has been dropped by 2 to 5% because of net neutrality during the period, and this hampers availability of internet to all the people, especially people in rural areas, and these people cannot afford basic internet services. Secondly, why it's bad is because it hampered even innovations, and it put a few companies such as YouTube, MySpace in severe risks because these networks were not equipped to handle handle the technology, and no company is going to invest when they have no return on investment. And the third point was access to okay. The third point was the access to objectionable content, which cannot be stopped if net neutrality is on place. My rebuttal speaker rebutted all the motions by all the points by the opening speaker of the opposition by telling the first thing that they said is imagine the two worlds where where the reality is still in between. He rebutted the first point telling we have to take data from a technological group rather than any other sources. And between the times of 2015 and 2017, didn't we have free speech? Like the opposition said. And another point was about high margins. There were no trends to show that any of these companies had high profits. So high profits during this time. So with that, we stand against the motion that net neutrality should be restored.
Thank you. Timer, please note 45 seconds for the judges to mark the ballot. Thank you. That brings us to the last speaker for this debate. We have team proposition speaker for closing. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Reggie. The floor is yours.
Am I good to go?
Yes, you are.
Debate moderator, members of the House, and fellow debaters, a very good evening to all of you. Net neutrality must be restored. Of course it must be restored. That's precisely what my team stated in the last 15 minutes, debating and describing by facts, figures, and research in a convincing and logical way. My opening speaker, Nikhil, categorically stated with enough reasons why net neutrality should be restored. A, net neutrality protects free speech. According to Professor Van Skuwik from the Stanford University, internet is an open forum for freedom of expression. The ISPs charge extra money for access to fast lane, and those who cannot are relegated to the internet slow lane. It could create an internet one person. According to Macmillan, in 2004, internet traffic was more or less equally distributed across thousands of web companies. Democracy of information is possible. Finland is a role model to this. In 2015, the Finnish Telecom Regulatory Act ensured every citizen has access to 1 Mbps internet, and by 2021, it can be improved by 1 minute to 10 Mbps. Further, if that was not enough, my rebuttal speaker, Jensen, trashed all illogical arguments placed by the opposing team, and he counter-attacked them and showed them how limited vision they had on this topic. In conclusion, I strongly request the House to pass the motion because my team and I firmly stand by the motion. Net neutrality must be restored because tonight we debate for your freedom. Over to you, moderator.
Thank you very much. And that concludes the debate 1. Request all of you to maintain silence. We'll be giving out participation certificates right now while the judges coordinate with the chief judge. Meanwhile, I request each one of you to use the reaction button or switch on your cameras so that you can show your true appreciation for the participants who has put their skin in the game today. First one, please put your hands together for Toastmaster Nickel Steven. Yes, you can unmute and make it even louder if you want to. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Jensen. Put your hands together for Toastmaster Reggie Nair. And for Toastmaster Snigdha Pandey. And for Toastmaster Praveen Jain. And for Toastmaster Meena Kolnad. And for your debate moderator, Sameer GP. Wonderful. Now, while the judges are marking the ballots, what we're going to do is I'm going to take some time off and show you guys something.
Samir, I'm not able to open my video. It says it is not allowed.
You're not able to open your video?
Yeah, now I think you have activated it. Yeah. Yeah.
So let's watch some magic. Can you hear? Not yet started, wait. I guess Murphy is in the room.
Maybe we can switch off our videos.
Yeah,
Might
maybe.
stream better.
Yep.
Actually, a tribute to both me and her. It's in Hawaii.
Let's stop and start once again. Unless Chief, just please unmute yourself and let us know when the time is up for us to start the next one.
And we'd like you to have a deck. So go ahead, grab the deck of cards.
Alrighty.
And you can give it a mix like this. Shuffle the cards.
Okay.
Well, however you want.
All right,
Just as long as you just don't drop any of the cards. You drop the cards and the trick's over, okay?
Okay.
Okay, good. Very good. And then just place it right over there, face down. Now, Alan, you thoroughly shuffled your pack, yes?
I believe I did.
Yeah, and so did I. And I happened to shuffle the king of clubs to the bottom. And I know we have a lot in common, Ellen, but how crazy would it be if you also somehow shuffled the king of clubs to the bottom?
It'd be crazy.
Look, I didn't touch anything, yeah? Lift up your deck and show the bottom card.
Oh, Lord.
Well, look, that's just one coincidence, though, Ellen. There's 52 playing cards in the deck. See, I somehow managed to shuffle my entire deck into completely brand new deck order. But I'm a magician, so you'd expect something like that to happen. The weird part is somehow you also shuffled your deck.
Oh
It's a
my
completely
God.
new order. That was with the whole deck, though. We're gonna just try with a couple of cards, so I'm gonna shuffle it up. As I riffle through, Ellen, just say something. Okay.
Stop.
Right there? Okay. We'll take the top two cards. Now, the chances of these cards being identical, obviously, completely impossible. They're from the same deck. Yeah, we have the 7 and the ace. Completely up to you. 7 or the ace, which one do you want?
Ace.
The ace. Okay, look, I'm not gonna do anything funny. I'm gonna slide that over to you. Can you pick it up like this and place it into your hand and cover it up, okay? Now, let's see, where's Twitch? Is Twitch here?
Twitch is over there.
Twitch, hey, what's up, man? Just name any card.
Ace of Hearts.
Ace of Hearts, okay.
Ace of Hearts.
See, Ellen, the crazy part, which one, did you have the 7 or the ace?
I don't
The
know.
ace, yeah,
I had chosen the ace, but I think it was the
Ace
spades.
of spades, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Twitch, you said Ace of Hearts, yeah?
Hearts, yeah.
Okay. The crazy part, Ellen, isn't that the 7 just changed in my hand. See, the crazy part is that it changed into the exact thought of card, the Ace of Hearts. But Ellen,
Watch him.
if I have the ace, that telling me that you also take a look. Try one more time. We'll take your box. And one last time, Ellen. Hand over the ace like this. I'll do the same thing. Hand over. Yeah. Now, if you notice something interesting starts to happen, the ace is actually going to get thicker and thicker. It's no longer a playing card. It's actually now more than just one card. It's actually 3 cards. Take a look. But these just aren't any 3 cards, Ellen. I told you this was personal, right? When was the exact date of your wedding? When was the exact date of your wedding?
It was August 16th.
August 16th, 8/1/6. And you see, my wedding was also in August, but it wasn't the 16th. It was the 19th, an exact mirror image of you. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Okay, Samir, we're good to go.
Fantastic. If you guys haven't watched Shin Lim, please watch. He has some crazy magic shows happening on YouTube. Next, we're going on to the next debate, which is debate number 2. Let me pull in my presentation. All right. We're moving on to the second debate from the Podcasters Club, and we have the following speakers, the debaters. The opening speaker for Team Proposition will be Toastmaster Radhika. Judges, please note. The rebuttal speaker will be Priyanka, and the closing speaker will be Simi. For Team Opposition, the opening speaker will be Saif, the rebuttal speaker will be Rupa, and the closing speaker will be Lini. And that is the entire lineup. And the topic will be graffiti in public places should be banned. Graffiti in public places should be banned. Chief Judge, are we ready to go?
Yes, we're good to go.
All right. Welcome to the second debate. To all the contestants, judges, and participants, and audiences. To begin with, we have Team Proposition opening speaker. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Radhika. Radhika, are you able to unmute yourself?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, you're audible. Please go ahead.
Good evening, debate moderator, members of the House, and my worthy opponents. The word graffiti is defined as writings or drawings that are scribbled, scratched, or sprayed illicitly on walls or other structures in public spaces. We must note that the very definition of the word graffiti has the word illicit, implying that is something done without permission and social acceptance. Very often we see ancient monuments decorated by mindless proclamations of love of irresponsible teenagers, thereby undermining the cultural, architectural significance to the society. A civil society is formed on the foundation of equal rights of everyone, which includes a right to express without infringing on the right or space of others. And graffiti, both metaphorically speaking and quite literally, infringes on the space of others. Public includes public of all demographic, including children. And graffiti, which can often be of vulgar nature, can leave a deep negative impact on their minds. While some argue that graffiti can be a means of intellectual discourse, issues that really concern the public should be taken up at the right forums where they can be heard and addressed, and not on random walls in the society. And often graffiti, which is of the nature of religious, communal, and sexual nature, can end up as an act of bullying on the weaker and marginalized sections of the society. While it is easy to commit this act of graffiti, undoing it costs a huge burden to the governments in removal of graffiti. Realizing the many detrimental effects that graffiti has, most countries of the world have made it illegal, barring a few. Singapore, which is looked upon as a model country for governance, has made graffiti punishable by fine, imprisonment, and capital punishment. Graffiti is a menace to the society, and the only way to get rid of it is to legally forbid it. Therefore, we urge this House to pass the motion, graffiti in public places should be banned. Over to you.
Samir, I think you're on mute.
Me?
Look like Samir's video is frozen.
Yeah, I think there is some.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it Can you hear me?
Yes, Samir, we can hear you now. In fact, your video is getting freezed often. Samir, your connection is gone now.
There's a connection problem, I think. Is it okay now?
We can hear you, but your video is frozen. Now it's...
All right, I might log off and log in, but next we have team opposition opening speaker. Please put your hands together for Toastmasters. Saif.
Before you continue, can we have a backup moderator? Jensen, can you take this up, please?
Yes, I'll be as backup in case some misconnection gets.
Yeah, that would be better. Can you introduce the opening speaker once again?
All right, good. Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Okay, Samir, yes.
All right. Next, we have team opposition opening speaker. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Saif. Saif, are you able to unmute yourself?
Yeah, now I'm able to do it. Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, debate moderator, contest judge, and the members of the House. Art is a way to express your feelings, and this is what graffiti means. Considering graffiti as vandalism or destruction of property and needs to be banned is contended because the property still functions as it did before, and graffiti has no real connection to any other crimes. Graffiti art embodies cultural significance through its individualistic nature, its ability to beautify and enhance public spaces, and through its highly visible way of speaking out on political, social, and economic issues, because it so clearly represents an artistic subculture with a message. Graffiti should not be banned because art allows expression. It helps people who don't have courage to express themselves verbally but through paint, they speak fluently. Banning graffiti limits the freedom of artists to create influential masterpieces. Graffiti art beautifies the community by appearing on areas that normally would be eyesore. If you want me to prove, get on a flight to Paris and Amsterdam and spend a day exploring the streets whilst searching for invaders' mosaic or Gregor's masks. You'll jump in excitement every time you spot the colorful graffiti. In late 1990s, graffiti was a crime in Brazil, and now the police is supporting graffiti initiatives for city beautification and see this as a career opportunity for youth in low-income neighborhoods and have put graffiti for good use for social development and founding art schools, etc. In UK, academics even argued that the murals by graffitist Banksy, described as a vandal, are so important that they should be considered as a part of Britain's heritage. Graffiti is a media through which artists can question decision makers and challenge policies made by statesmen. The austerity politics of dictator Mariano Rajoy in Spain came to an end in 2016 due to graffiti, which can be referred on the article Power of Paint by Johanna Tolano. Graffiti breathes life into walls. It stimulates conversation among the communities. Graffitis on Black Lives Matter is another great example. Graffiti's inherent political medium storytelling powers have become a way for communities to raise awareness and express themselves. 30 years ago, hip hop music was labeled as noise, and graffiti will follow the same trajectory. Perceptions about graffiti have already drastically changed. Graffiti should not be banned as it truly makes people happier and it is a lot nicer to look at than a blank wall. I reiterate, graffiti should not be banned because if we keep it banned, we limit the form of expression and creativity. I urge the House to ignore the broken window theorists and vote against the motion. Over to you, debate moderator.
Thank you. Timer, please note 45 seconds for the judges to mark the ballots. Thank you. Next, we have team opposition rebuttal speaker. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Rupa.
Thank you, moderator. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much. Broaden your mind to widen your vision. At least if you have widened your vision, perhaps you won't be claiming such a resolution to be passed, my dear worthy opponents. Respected judges of the forum, moderator, and my fellow Toastmasters. Primarily, my worthy opponent gave me no statistical and substantial facts to rebut. That makes my rebuttal very easier. Definition of graffiti. I'll spare the definition and the retaliation to it later. She spoke about the ancient monument being mindlessly destroyed by the loving emblems of every nation. Yes, perhaps it is. There are few rotten eggs in the house. But have you forgotten to take examples perhaps from the beautification of city projects using graffiti? I didn't have to go far, my friend. Dubai has the Guinness World of longest graffiti, and Abu Dhabi has projects for titled Tolerance, Tolerancia, graffiti with 2,800 square meter wall. You mentioned graffiti can be of vulgar nature to children, and you yourself said it is of educational importance as well. Well, I would urge you to please hold on to one ground, my dear worthy opponent. Practical research on creative graffiti for children by Zhu Li says Children's graffiti are characterized by spontaneity, creativity, and imagination in the art, teaching children having the advantage like divergent thinking and rich imagination. Are you not developing that skill in your children when you're giving them the graffiti lessons? Means of intellectual course is an arguable debate, actually the act of bullying. Oh, no. Graffiti and street art can be controversial, but it is also a medium for voices of social change, protest, or expression of the community desire. What, how, and where are examples of graffiti as a positive force in the communities is everywhere. Is in Belgium, is in Colombia, is in Dubai itself. We have 30 walls that is going graffiti beautifications as we speak in Dubai, if you didn't know. Undergoing this huge burden to the government in undoing the graffiti walls. You didn't do your research properly, probably. A new government poll reveals that a astounding 3-to-1 margin, that is a majority of 58% accept graffiti. Also, the governments, had they provided spaces for the artists in the city, not only could they have curbed such extravagant expense, but also respect the artist's creation and made their city much more beautiful. Dubai is such a beautiful example. Once again, I quote because we live here. And coming now to the definition of graffiti. Well, you know what? It really needs a change. And the irony is everyone around there on the opponent party is very stereotypical. It needs a change, and many countries are already accepting to the change. Hence, I urge the forum to please vote against the resolution. Graffiti should not be banned on streets.
Thank you. Timer, please note, 45 seconds for the judges to mark the ballots. Thank you. We now have the next debater from Team Proposition. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Priyanka as a rebuttal speaker. Can you unmute yourself, Priyanka? Are you able to?
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I'll switch on the
We can hear you, but we can't see you now.
Yeah, I'm on the video.
All right.
Yeah, am I visible and audible before I start?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Today, you know what? I was very keen to listen to what our opponents had to say. But to my utter disappointment, whatever they said was baseless, irrelevant, and founded in their own imagination. The biggest logical fallacy in their argument was that they equated graffiti with art. Really? Is all graffiti around us art or the creative artistic genius of an artist? Come on, we all have come across graffiti in our life, which can be socially inappropriate and can have unfavorable impact on vulnerable sections of the society, as my opening speaker said. So the first logical mistake they did is equate graffiti with art, because my dear friends, graffiti is not art. Not all graffiti is art. And plus, you don't have any research to prove to the House that all graffiti that gets done on the walls in this world is art. And even if I were to take your argument and say that, okay, graffiti is a form of artistic expression, what kind of art are we celebrating here? My myopic opponent saw only one side of the picture, a graffiti artist creating new art. But did they see the other side? The art that got destroyed, that wall on which you painted, was part of an architect's dream, or was the labor, or was the result of artistic labor of someone who built and conceptualized the design of that building. So do you want to celebrate art which creates a new art by destroying an existing one? And come on, let me ask them, my very artistically inclined opponents, that in the middle of the night, if someone was to daub with graffiti your own house walls, the next morning, would you welcome it as an addition to your home decor? Or are you going to report it to the authorities as an act of vandalism? So the hypocrisy I want to prove here is that graffiti is art only till the time it is done on public places, because no one thinks public places belong to them. And that is why public places always end up with all the urban scourge in modern society. And then they said graffiti makes art beautiful. But beauty, my dear opponents, is so subjective. What can be beautiful to you is visual pollution for me. And plus, when you and I, we both have equal rights to that public property, who gave you that extra right to go and do that graffiti on it without taking any consensus? So, my dear friends, there is no consensus and no social adherence to norms of aesthetics when it comes to graffiti. And then they talked about graffiti and the beautiful Amsterdam tourism experience. But do they even know, or can they prove that the kind of money we as a society spend on removing graffiti is less than what graffiti-induced tourism earns us? They have no statistics. So, I want to table it before the House that graffiti, there is nothing progressive about it. It's a nuisance, it's crime, it's vandalism, and I will not shy away from saying.
Thank you. Timer, please note 45 seconds for the judges to mark the ballots. Thank you. That brings us to the closing speakers for this debate. First, we have the speaker from Team Opposition speaking. Please put your hands together for the closing speaker from Team Opposition, Toastmaster Lini.
I am unable to mute. Okay, yeah, fine. Okay, fine. Now it's done. Yes. Okay, am I audible now, Samir, everybody?
Yes, you're audible and clear.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm sure by now everyone is convinced by all the points that's put up from the opening and the rebuttal speakers that graffiti should not be banned. Why? Because it's a form of an art. It's a visual treat that has no connection with any kind of a crime that's reported so far. And it's an art that allows the people to freely express themselves who are not able to verbally communicate or verbally express themselves. And it questions the decision makers. And graffiti has played, we all know that graffiti has played such vital role in the Black Lives Matter movement that it was so powerful that it reached out to the whole world. And with all those examples that's put forward by the opening speaker saying how beautiful it can enhance the cities and the monuments. And if you go to Paris or if you go to Amsterdam, how graffiti has played a key role in enhancing the beauty of the city. And my rebuttal speaker has clearly brought in all the statistical data to prove that graffiti, many people are going with the graffiti, and the question of removal is not even in the picture. And graffiti helps the children to build up their creativity, and it only develops the creative sense, and that is only the benefit that graffiti lessons can happen. So let's not kill this creativity form or expression. So I request the House to support us to go against the motion graffiti should be banned. Thank you.
Thank you. Timer, please note 45 seconds for the judges to mark the ballots. Thank you. And that brings us to the last speaker, the debater for this debate topic from Team Proposition. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Simi.
Hello, Samir. Can you hear me?
Yes, you are audible and visible. Please proceed.
She moved on, but I still love her. This was one of the graffiti found in the back streets of Louisiana, USA. Do we really think this is art? Hello, everyone. My opening speaker has provided clear definition of graffiti that it is in fact writing or performing drawing which is performed illicitly on a wall. So by its very definition, it is forbidden by law. She emphasized that graffiti not only damages or undermines culturally valued monuments, but also it poses a great threat to the image of a civilized society. She also stated the negative the impact of graffiti in terms of huge cost the local council has to bear to remove it, and how places like Singapore has placed graffiti as a punishable offense. My rebuttal speaker has totally invalidated the logic of our worthy opponents by stating that although graffiti is an expression of art, not all graffiti equates to art. From these points, it's very clear that graffiti is an art performed in a disrespectful and irresponsible manner. Therefore, we urge the House to pass the motion that graffiti in public places should be banned.
Thank you. And that brings us to the end of the second debate. All of you, please put your hands together. Judges will coordinate with the chief judge while we give out the participation certificates for the participants. So I would like to invite each. I think if you were to I think last time what happened was that each one of you put your videos on and probably the bandwidth went down, and therefore I had a problem with coming back. So let's just use the reaction buttons and give your virtual applauses. And if you can unmute yourself, I'll let you unmute yourself. All right. And let's acknowledge the ones who put the skin in the game once again. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Saif Abu Tahir. Unmute and make it loud. Toastmaster Rupa Prabhu Krishnan. Toastmaster Lini Panikar. Toastmaster Radhika. Toastmaster Priyanka. Toastmaster Simi. And once again, the debate moderator, Toastmaster Simi GP. A big round of applause. Now, as the judges are marking the ballots, I want to take you to another form of speaking. So you saw the first one where I showed you magic, where magic is not just about magic, but how you present it as well, which brings in the aura of the magic. Here is another one, which is ventriloquism. Let's watch this.
It talks.
Is it a bunny?
Yes.
Is that a real bunny? We're going to find out. Okay. And Darcy, why did you both decide to enter the show?
Well, it was one of my big dreams. But also I would really like to keep ventriloquism alive because it's not common, you know? So.
Well, listen, Darcy, best of luck. I really hope you both do well.
Thank you so much.
All right, good luck.
Are you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. Hit it. Wait, you're gonna sing? Mm-hmm. Oh boy.
Wow.
Fish are jumping and the cotton is high.
Wow.
One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up, see. Then you'll spread your wings and you'll take to the sky. But till that morning, there ain't nothing can hold. So hush, little baby, don't you cry.
We are good to go.
Thank you. So at home right now today, if you'd like to, you can practice singing with your mouth closed. It might win you the golden buzzer even. We now come to the last debate contest for the evening. And while I pull up my presentation and you wait with bated breath, I will introduce the next. So now we move on to the Podcasters Toastmasters Club, and we have the following debaters who will be contesting. For team proposition, we have judges, please note, Toastmaster Adil. The rebuttal speaker will be Toastmaster Falak. And the closing speaker will be Toastmaster Robin. For team opposition, we have opening speaker Toastmaster Alifia, rebuttal speaker Toastmaster Ahmed, and the closing speaker will be Toastmaster Lakshmi. All the rules that apply to the Debatable Club applies to Podcasters Club as well. And the topic the debaters will be tackling will be animal testing should be banned. So, Chief Judge, are we ready to go?
Yes, let's do it.
Wonderful. Once again, a warm good evening for an exciting round of debate. Please put your hands together for the team proposition. Opening speaker, Toastmaster Adil. Adil, are you able to unmute yourself?
Yes, hi, Samir, am I audible?
Yes, you are, and visible. Good to go.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The motion today is animal testing should be banned, and we stand strongly in favor of the motion. What is animal testing? Animal testing could be defined as scientific tests done to animals in the development of either products or drugs. What's wrong with animal testing? Poisoning, burning, and killing animals could all be in a day's work for a vivisector, but done outside laboratories, these could be felonies. But under the guise of spotless white lab coats and shiny surfaces, we turn a blind eye to sentencing over 192 million thinking, feeling animals to life in a cage and intentionally causing them pain, loneliness, fear, and eventually death. Statistics are courtesy. Cruelty Free International, the leading NGO with more than 100 years service to the cause. Let me tell you why animal testing should be banned. Number one, it is unethical. Now, regardless of the justification, be it for medical research, be it for cosmetic testing, we do not have the right to subjugate another living being to undergo harm. Human volunteers may be hard to find, but that does not justify testing on non-vocal, non-rebuttaling, non-reciprocating poor animals. Number two, it is ineffective. The National Institute of Health, the largest biomedical agency in the world, has noted that over 95% of the animal tests that have been successful in animals have proved a failure during human trials, either because they're too dangerous or they did not work. On the few percentage that did get approved, half of them got relabeled because side effects did not appear during animal testing. Number three, it is archaic. Forward-thinking scientists have developed humane, modern, and effective non-animal-based research methods, including organs on chips, organoids, human simulations, microdose testing, and computer models, which are far cheaper, more effective, and more faster than testing on animals. If these unprecedented times we are living has proved that we can create a vaccine in record speed without having to test for animals, let us once start believing that our past actions do not prove a cause for our future decisions. We have often heard over and over in the 3 R's, yes, the reduction, refinement, and replacement. Since 1959, let me tell you with absolute conviction, the first 2 R's have failed. That the last 60 years and countless millions of animals we put to death are a testimony. How would you feel if a higher species chose to tear us apart from our families, to potentially threaten our very existence and expose us to inhumane experiments? I urge this House to apply the very faith that makes us human, our humanity, and oppose this motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Timer, please note, 45 seconds for the judges to mark the ballots. Thank you. Next, we have the opening speaker from Team Opposition. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Alifia.
Debate moderator, chief judge, my worthy opponents. It's a no-brainer. Animal testing should not be banned. 100 years back, half of the people that lived were dead by age 25. The other half died before the age of 50, mostly suffering from diseases like typhoid, TB, and smallpox. Animal testing has helped younger people to live longer. It has helped to reduce the pain and greater quality of life. Now, according to the National Bureau of Economic Research, the use of animals in biomedical testing has found a cure for 52 world's deadly diseases. It's increased the life expectancy double, 78 years today. It has eradicated deaths completely from polio and smallpox. World over, cancer survival rate has tripled from 1970. HIV death rate has dropped by 85% since 1995. Hepatitis C treatments today have a success rate of 90% in as few as 8 weeks. Still not convinced? 192 million of animals are tested. What about pandemics like Ebola, SARS, MERS, even COVID? Today has vaccines tested on animals. But why animals, you ask, right? Let me tell you 3 reasons. Number 1, animals are biologically very similar to humans. Chimpanzees share 99% and mice share 98% of the human DNA. Number 2, if you have pets, you should know animals share the same health problems, cancer, diabetes, heart diseases as humans. And the most important, number 3, 95% of all the animal research is created on rodents like mice and rats. Their lifespan is 1 to 2 years. This allows us to test animals for generations and generations and know exactly what's happening. This is something that computers and automated stuff cannot allow. Let me summarize. If you're talking about 192 million animals, you know how many we eat? We eat 50 billion chickens, 1.5 billion pigs, 500 million sheep. In the last 50 years, the number of people on the planet has literally doubled. Let me elaborate with a rebuttal. The National Academy of Sciences have confirmed that computer models are not yet fully equipped to ensure safety and efficiency of new treatments. And especially before testing on humans, they need to be tested according to the federal law for animals before testing on humans. Let me conclude with my team motto. Animal testing is definitely a part of the solution. It cannot be banned for the sake of you and for the sake of me.
Thank you. Timer, please note 45 seconds for the judges to mark the ballots. As we move on, we have now the rebuttal speaker from team opposition. Please put your hands together for the opposition team speaker, Toastmaster Ahmed.
You can hear me?
Yes, and you're visible. Please go ahead.
You know what? I was wondering why is it so dark and gloomy tonight? Oh, I know. It's because my worthy opponent just gave you all such a dark picture of tonight's motion. So I'm going to put on lights on this meeting and show you the light at the end of the tunnel by actually giving you the real facts of why animal testing should not be banned, so that through animal research, we can all continue to save millions of lives, millions and millions of human lives for future generations to come. First of all, to my worthy opponent, really sincerely, and I mean it, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for sharing such incredible Google.com stats. Thank you so much. 192 million animals killed every year. Really? Yeah, exact. An estimated 50 billion chickens are slaughtered for food every year. A figure that actually excludes the male chickens. I'm not sure what's happening with the male chickens. The number of larger livestock, particularly pigs, slaughtered is also growing year on year for the past 50 years. Nearly 1.5 billion pigs are killed to feed the growing appetite for pork, bacon, ham, and sausages, a number that has tripled in the last 50 years. 500 million sheep are taken to the abattoir every year. the number of goats slaughtered overtook the number of cows eaten during the 90s. It's amazing. I'm not even going to start on seafood. And then my worthy opponent also mentioned that it is unethical and that we should use alternatives to animal testing. Really? Animal testing contributes to life-saving cures and treatments. The California Biomedical Research Association states that nearly every medical breakthrough in the last 100 years has resulted directly from research using animals. Animal research has contributed to major advances in treating conditions such as breast cancer. My friend Mila, she's in the hospital right now. I know that. Brain injury, child leukemia, TB, and many more deadly diseases in animal research was instrumental in the development of pacemakers and cardiac valve substitutes. It's you know what? Don't go far. For the COVID-19 vaccine, the World Health Organization has said that they can be tested in animals, which is a fundamental step in the search for a COVID-19 vaccine, which we're all waiting for. And then my worthy opponent also mentioned that drugs pass animal tests, but they're not necessarily safe. Really? When testing medicines for potential and toxicity, the lives of human volunteers should not be put in danger unnecessarily. It should be unethical to perform invasive and experimental procedures on human beings before the methods have been tested on animals. Now, here's the other catch, though. This to me is definitely one of the key ones. Computer modeling, really? I mean, no human.
Samir, you're on mute.
Thank you. Timer, please note 45 seconds for the judges to mark the ballots. Make it 30 seconds because, yeah, since I have announced 15 seconds later. Tracking, it's good. Thank you. Next, we have the rebuttal speaker from the team proposition. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Falak.
Can you guys hear me and see me as well?
Yes, please proceed.
Perfect. Cool. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. First of all, my esteemed opponent started her conversation with "it's a no-brainer." Well, that's debatable, to be honest. But then she proceeded on saying that it's a no-brainer about the whole debate. So I want to clarify that. Next, her pointer was about how the mortality rate was low back, I think around 20 or 40 or 50 years ago. And now animal testing has helped us evolve. Well, I'd like to know, what is the source that you're reading? I hope it's not just another comic that you've referred to, because there is no valid source or valid evidence behind this statement that was provided. She also mentioned that as per economic research, life expectancy has increased. Again, our debate is regarding biology. It's regarding human lives. And I don't think economic research is a right source to be referring to in this particular case. So I would have liked it if they would have researched a little deeper and gone for relevant sources. She also mentioned cancer survival rate has tripled. Well, to be honest, cancer survival rate has not tripled. In fact, despite the tests done on mice, though we found decades ago, we did find a solution, or rather a cure for cancer, it can still not be used in humans because it failed in the human clinical trials. So though in mice, the cancer cure was successful, they did not find it successful in the human trials. She also mentioned about HIV rates being dropped, but she forgot to conveniently mention that 85 HIV vaccines were successful in mice, but not a single one proved working in humans in 2015. She also mentioned about COVID and Ebola. Well, glad you brought that point up. We are living in the COVID times today. And as we all know, the FDA has gone ahead and given an instant green signal to skip animal trials and directly go for human clinical trials, thus expediting the process, which in turn is making us look pretty hopeful in the COVID vaccine scenario. We are hoping that the vaccine will be developed within the next 1 year, thanks to the complete fact that we went for human trials rather than wasting our time and money on animal trials. Then she very specifically mentioned why animals, as to why is it that we should ban animals. She mentioned that animals are similar to humans, chimpanzees and mice, but again, anatomically we are different. DNA wise, there might be similarities, but there have been thousands, not even thousands, more than thousands of cases where despite something working on animals, the entire result was completely ineffective. And my opening speaker, Rashid, did mention it, that the National Health Institute also stated that 95% of all the drugs that have been found to be safe and effective in animals fail in clinical trials with humans. So that point goes completely down the drain. She also mentioned that if you have pets, you should know. Well, I wish that you all were a little more humane and would have tried and understood that. Think about it. If your pets itself were taken to clinical trials, were force-fed, were injected harmful chemicals in their eyes, were asphyxiated, would that be something that you would talk about? She also mentioned the lifespan is 1 to 2 years amongst animals. This gives us better insight, or this gives us better clarity in understanding about these. However, what she forgot to think about.
Thank you. Timer, please note 45 seconds for the judges to mark the ballots. Thank you. Next, we move to the closing speakers for the final debates of this evening. First, we have from Team Opposition. Please put your hands together for the closing speaker, Toastmaster Lakshmi. Lakshmi, are you able to unmute yourself?
Yes. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, you are, and you're visible as well. Please proceed.
Good evening, everyone, and a very special good evening to my opponent team. Our team has very convincingly proven animal testing is part of the solution. We have given you statistics, we have given you valid information that shows medical science has been possible because progress has been possible because of animal testing. Medicines invented through animal testing have cured many severe illnesses. It has helped in vaccines have helped in eradicating polio and smallpox, and as well as provide comfort and longevity for severe ailments. All of this, as you would note, my opening speaker has given you with valid statistics from the National Bureau of Economic Research and National Academy of Sciences, a very meritorious institutes, as I am sure my worthy opponents will agree. Our rebuttal speaker has shown that the amount of animals killed for the meat industry is way beyond than what you use in animal testing. Animal testing is done to find cure not just for humans, for the animals themselves. So this has actually been very convincingly established by our rebuttal speaker. What are we waiting for? We are here to find a solution, and animal testing is part of the solution, which our team very strongly believes in and has given you the required information. I request the judges not to be swayed by the opponents. Over to you, moderator.
Thank you. Timer, please note 45 seconds for the judges to mark the ballots. Thank you. Moving on to the last debater for the evening, the one who will be closing for this debate motion. We have speaker from Team Proposition. Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Robin for the closing speech.
Hi, Samir, can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes. You're audible and visible. Please proceed.
Good evening, debate moderator, members of the House, and my worthy opponents. Imagine having your body subject to science when you are still in it. That's exactly what is happening to close to 200 million animals across the world every year. That's what my opening speaker started with. And then he went on to give three very, very clear points as to why animal testing should be banned. The first one, it's unethical. Imagine doing all those atrocious and shocking experiments on animals who are unprotesting and are powerless. Second point, it is absolutely ineffective. It's clearly been proven by clear statistics. National Health Institute, which is the biggest research agency in health, says 95% of the drugs which are tested on animals and are cleared are not effective on human beings. And third, today we actually have a lot of alternate means of testing, the computer testing, the electrical testing, and many other means which are possible. And are we living in some archaic society where we can't look at the interest of fellow species in the world? I mean, we are ethical beings, we are human beings. That's why we are called human beings. And finally, we also very clearly justified that the amount of animals being killed and the result that we are getting is not equivalent, and plus we have other resources which are giving us equally good results. So then why should we subject animals to this kind of atrocities and shocking experiments? We can definitely look at these other alternative testing methods and find results that we need. Finally, I would like to ask the House, look at the ethical part, the moral part, and also the ineffectiveness part, and vote for the motion for animal testing to be banned. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That brings us to the end of this debate and all debates for the evening. We will be quickly announcing the results, but before that, the Chief Judge will and the judges will communicate. Let me bring in the participation certificates for this final debate. So as the judges and the Chief Judge are doing their due diligence, let us please put our hands together for Toastmaster Adil Rashid for putting his skin in the game. So if you're not able to unmute yourself, you can now. Go ahead, unmute yourself and give a round of applause and use the reaction button as well. Falak Trombo. Robin Anand. Alif Yasura. Ahmed Abdullah.
Bravo, Ahmed.
And Lakshmi. Wow. Ahmed gets special recognition. That's fantastic. So that concludes the debate. Now we will wait for the Chief Judge to come up with the final results. In the meanwhile, how many of you have a confusion or would like to think what is the sequence of how the speakers are in order? Do you sometimes get confused that, what will be the speaking order? Does anyone have a confusion? Put your cameras on and say yes or no, or in the chat box. Sometimes you think, would you like to have a quick acronym or something that would actually allow you to remember? Yeah?
Yes.
All right. So as I was moderating today's session, I found this quite interesting actually, that the sequence is of team proposition speaking first, right? And then it goes in a particular order. And this is a very interesting way to actually remember what is a sequence. First is proposition, then opposition, then opposition, then proposition, then opposition, then proposition. Poo, pop. I guess you'll never forget this now. So that is how you remember who speaks first, who speaks next. I could take up another video, but I don't think we'll be able to finish it, so I'm not going to go over there. I'd like to take some feedback. What do you guys think about? Unmute yourself and speak. Who'd like to go first? Show your hands, or I'd like to take some feedbacks from the audience. Audience who have been, we have the club growth director over here, DTM Rania Burrow. You may unmute yourself and please share your feedback on how was the event today.
Good evening, Samir.
Good
Thank you
evening.
so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, and you're visible as
I
well.
was just sitting here hiding, not to be noticed or recognized, just enjoying as a member of the audience. But you
Yes.
managed to find me. How are you? All is well?
All is well. Everyone's well.
Thank you so much for this wonderful organized contest between two newly babies, I would say, the podcasters and the debatable clubs. Amazing organization, tough topics, actually. I mean, I really commend all the participants, contestants, and I know it's tough job for the judges to decide who are the winners. And I'm looking forward for the second half. We're going to have a second half, right? For the podcasters now, and that's it.
Over. Everything's over. Everything's done.
It's over, really? Because it said two clubs. I didn't know who is who because it didn't specify. So that's it.
I didn't do my job properly. I did announce, but I didn't do it effectively enough. I'm sorry.
Okay, I didn't know which club. That's why I was thinking there's another part. There's already 9 o'clock, and say, well, what time is left for the second team? So yes, you should have announced it anyway. But thank you so much for the opportunity. You've done a fantastic job, Samir, and Stephen as the chief job. I know he's busy now doing all the ballots and all the contestants. It's nice to see Robin among the contestants. And DTM Robin, you're keeping yourself so busy. That's fun. And Ahmed and everyone else did a fantastic job. I really enjoyed it. And I'm also embarking on this debate adventure. So it's more like educational for me than anything else. So thank you so much for the opportunity, and I'm looking forward to listening to the results. Thank you so much. Over to you, Samir.
Thank you. So before we move on, like DTM Rania mentioned, these two clubs are new clubs and they are born in the same area. And the father of this area, the one who's fathered these two clubs, is here. So I'd like to invite Jensen to please take over while I just go and do some, see you soon.
Thank you, Samir, though you could have used a better choice of words. I feel too old now. Thank you. So friends, I hope all of you enjoyed the combined contest that we had today. And I would continue with what Samir was just doing. I would want to hear more feedbacks from the guests. So is there anybody who would want to unmute yourself and give feedbacks on how you all found today's session? It is only through your feedbacks we can get better. Yes, Amir, I can see you raise your hands. Yes.
Hello?
Yes, Amir, yes.
I'm from Emirates Toastmaster Club, and two of our members were here, Adil and Toastmaster Nikhil, as well as I was here and I attended all three sessions, and exciting sessions. It was learning and definitely a lot of things for us to learn in terms of research, in terms of information, and in terms of how I will use this for my participating as in debate. So thank you very much for giving us such a wonderful opportunity.
Thank you, Amir. Thank you, Amir, for that. Here, I mean, that is one of the things we do at this club. We keep practicing various debating techniques, researching styles. So the more we do, the better we get at it. Anybody else? Can I ask one of the guests? Yes, Ajay. I can see you raise your hands.
Thank you so much, Jensen. Well, I have participated in debates. I have seen a lot of debate competition, but trust me, this was something absolutely outstanding because, first of all, I would like to give a round of applause to the person who selected the topics, because the topics are really something which you can debate on, where you have a for and against. Otherwise, sometimes it's very lopsided, and that makes the debate very difficult. But these were really amazing topics, and all of you, whoever were the participants, absolutely amazing stuff. I have a lot of learnings from this because I'm heading into my club's debate very soon. So thank you so much for this experience. Fantastic afternoon, evening, and a lovely evening, I must say. Thank you so much, Jensen. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that feedback. The topics were, the credit of selecting the topics go to the entire XCOM actually, because it was debated upon what topics to go with. Even with the podcasters topic, I would, especially the VP head of podcasters, Ashish, he selected the topic for podcasters, and with debatable, the topics were debated upon all the XCOM officers, and finally we managed to reach a conclusion on that. Yes. So can I ask, we still have a little more time. The chief judge seems to be having a tough time tallying the scores. We can't see him, so we can take a few more feedbacks. Can I ask some of our new guests who have come here today? Veronica, I can see you. Do you want to share some feedback?
I was just about to press my button. Amazing. Indeed, I'm a guest Toastmaster from Capital Toastmaster. It's my first time. It's mostly educational, and I'm also preparing for the club debate. And I was the one, let me reveal it, I was the one also to support my fellow Toastmaster Ahmed. I found it actually the same acronym we found for, because it was confusing for me, I must say at the beginning, who is who going first, second, third. And then by the end, the pop it got into my head. I think we can find the same acronym for teams, because at the beginning it was igniting and then slowly firing up, and then at the end the third team actually was quite argumentative, both of them. So topics indeed, hats off for whoever chose them. Very interesting, but also I would say very actual, very up to date, or daily. The subject is very actual. So thank you so much, and I hope one day I'll have guests to see me in those places. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Veronica. Thank you for that wonderful feedback. Yes, and you should keep attending our club more often. Perhaps you will find more interesting topics, because at Debatable, that is the one thing we practice. We take more sophisticated and challenging topics to improve our own research skills. So that is about it. Samir, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. And Stephen is ready as well.
Okay.
Yes, okay. Yeah, so Jensen, I think we are good to go.
We'd like to see you.
Okay, no one could see me. Okay.
Yeah. Your makeup is on, right? Yeah, all right, fine, fantastic.
Still doesn't look as good as you, Samir. But anyway, good evening, guys. We are back with the results. I got a couple of complaints over private chat that I was looking way too serious as chief judge. Now that the contest is over, let's have some fun. First and foremost, one of my mentors have told me that the hallmark of a great contest is if the chief judge talks as less as possible. I didn't have to switch on my video the entire time. I'm pretty sure that all of you must have forgotten that I even existed over the last 2 hours. There was absolutely no hiccups whatsoever. And that happens because of mainly 3 or 4 pillars, and I have to give honor and thanks to them. Otherwise, my job is not done. First and foremost, this person has not shown his face at all during the entire thing. Can we have the Zoom master, Toastmaster Jinesh? Can you please switch on your video, please? And can we have, don't worry, I also have co-host rights. I'll put you on spotlight video. So here, so here is the guy who's always behind the scenes, ensuring that the right person is spotlighted, ensuring that everyone is muted. I do not think that we could have had this without someone as senior and as amazing as Jinesh. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Jinesh, for not having a backup and doing a fantastic job. So now I'm going to remove the spotlight out of you. Then we had somebody who I only had to brief for 2 minutes, and her response was, yes, yes, I know it, I know everything, it's okay, everything is fine. And she did a fantastic job today. You did not see her face as well because of the simple reason that she was the timer, so you must have seen her only as green, yellow, and red. Let me put the spotlight on her. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a round of applause for the timer of the day, Toastmaster Nimmi, as well as all the fantastic things in her background. So that is exactly why she was the timer for the day. Then I should also thank, in particular, a guy who I would say is more handsome than me, can speak better than me, and honestly, he is just absolutely amazing. He's the only guy who can pull off a vest like that and find the right, what do you say, graffiti in the background to match his vest and his shirt. He is absolutely one of the best speakers that you can find in Toastmasters. The way he conducted the entire meeting, all he had was just a half-an-hour session with me. He ensured that everything was smooth. You guys know exactly who I'm talking about. Toastmaster Samir GP. Can you have a big round of applause for him? Now, before I sound like a presidential address and go on and thank the whole universe, I think I should move on because I can see people like Simi and bunch of people who are like, can we please move on to the results? We do have the results, and I'm just going to quickly remind Samir exactly how he should be announcing it. Not that I don't trust him, but I trust him 100%. So for the debatable team, we had 2 debates. He will first announce the team winners for each of those debates, okay? And after that, the best opening, rebuttal, and concluding speaker will be announced in that particular order. So you had 4 opening speakers, the best of them based on the judges. Then secondly, we are going to have the podcasters. For the podcasters debate, it's going to be very simple. The team which won the debate, as well as the best opening and rebuttal. Now, they always say that you should save the best for the last, and I have to do that. And that is because I had with me a fantastic team of judges. Now, it's very cliche for the chief judge to say wonderful, glorious things about the judges, and I'm going to do the same as the chief judge. First and foremost, these guys every day has some Toastmaster meeting or the other, okay? They have to ensure that they actually listen to every single word that the speakers speak for the 2 hours. They can't do anything. They can't, close their audio, go to the washroom, nothing. They have to be there attentive. And to be honest, couldn't have asked for a better set of judges. Can you have a big round of applause for the judges who were there? And I cannot announce, but I can see a few of them. Okay, I can't say anything at all. So, so thank you so much, guys, for the great work that you have done. And now I have done blabbering my mouth. So for the 2 or 3 of you who said that I looked serious, I hope that I've entertained you enough for 3 to 4 minutes. I know it was more than that, but since the timer is done with her job, I think she did not, like red light me. So now to the results, I hand it back over to the man who can rock a vest like no one else, with the perfect graffiti in the background, Toastmaster Samir GP.
Thank you very much, Stephen, for that wonderful reminder that Nimi took 4 minutes and I took 30 minutes for a briefing. It just blows my heart away, the kind of time you're willing to spend with me. Every minute spent with you is precious. Thank you so much. It's always a learning experience watching you in action. And also to continue the thank you note, before I announce the results, I'd like to also congratulate and thank, even though he was a contestant today, he is the area director of these 2 clubs, and he managed to pull off something today. So congratulations to the area director, Toastmaster Jensen George, for organizing and making sure that your clubs, even though no matter how young they are at par with every other club in the district. So kudos to you for that. Bringing up the results. Oops. Oops. You saw the results, didn't you? You saw it, didn't you? Okay, then I'm going home. Oops, I'm already home. All right, so the first winner for today's debate number 1 contest is Team Proposition, Team Vikings. We have Nikhil, Jensen, and Raji. Please unmute yourself and give them a big round of applause.
Woohoo!
And the second debate, the winner is Team Opposition, Ninjas. We had Saif, Rupa, and Lini representing Team Ninjas. A big round of applause to them. Now, moving ahead, it will not be Team Opposition, but the best opening, rebuttal, and closing speakers from Team Debatable that will be moving forward. And if you are going to give me a drum roll, I will announce it. The best opening speaker from Debatable Club is Toastmaster Nikhil. Nikhil will be representing Team Debatable, along with the best rebuttal speaker for this evening, Toastmaster Rupa. And the best closing speaker from Team Debatable will be Toastmaster Raji. Congratulations to all the winners. Moving ahead, we have the podcasters. Drum rolls once again. We have the team that won today is Team Proposition, Adil, Palak, and Robin. Congratulations. And the best opening speaker who will be representing Podcasters Club will be Toastmaster Alifia, supported by the best rebuttal speaker, Toastmaster Falak, and with the closing speaker, Toastmaster Robin. Congratulations to each and every one of you. Everyone is a winner. Everyone. But some will go ahead and contest for the club. You're just winners today, and hopefully you'll all be winners moving ahead. A quick, what Stephen wanted to do or did earlier, which I was supposed to do, the certificates are here for the Zoom Master, Toastmaster Jinesh, Timer, Toastmaster Nimi, Debate Moderator, the Mace Samir GP, I think I know him somewhere, and the Chief Judge. Please give it up for Stephen George, the guy who refuses to wear a vest. Thank you, guys. It's been a pleasure. It's been amazing to be a host for the evening, the moderator. You've all been fantastic audience. And if you have any more inputs or feedback, please, the floor is yours. This meeting is adjourned. So, did we take group photographs? Jensen? Let's take one. Let's all switch on our cameras and freeze this memory for eternity. Oh, Saro is here. We haven't heard from Saro. And Firoz, always on the phone, also going to speak now. All right. Yes, and we have a future Toastmaster over there. And we have even present Toastmasters. Fantastic. So let's hear from Saro. How was the contest?
It's fabulous. Enjoyed myself. That's only 2 things I'm going to say today. Nothing more than that.
You're not supposed to read a script.
I cannot say anything more about anything, any of the topics, anything more. Only thing I can say, enjoyed it. Heard so much about Debatable and podcasters. It is started by very dear TGI Sheen, as we always say. So I'm happy to be here and witness. And I must say the topics were quite tough, and you guys all did a fabulous job. Enjoyed myself. All the best for the next level.
Thank you. Thank you for speaking more than you promised to speak.
Well,
Veronica, Veronica, we'd like to hear from you.
Hi.
Somebody's speaking over here. Who is that?
Hi, Samir.
Yes. How was how do you find it?
I already gave a feedback. You are on a poo-poo. Sorry.
Samir is on overtime now.
I called meeting off anyway, so but I'd like to hear from you.
Two words, no more. Educational, fantastic, amazing, interesting, and what can I say more than that? Getting ready for my own stage. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Is there anyone over here who was scared of to debate and felt that they can do it themselves too after watching today's debate? It's a piece of cake, right? I'll moderate. Nimi.
Yeah, I was scared. I don't debate.
You don't. Yeah, you don't
Nobody's
debate.
supposed to believe me for this.
Only with spouse, only with spouse.
Exactly.
There's orders and there's no debate about it. That's all.
There's no two ways about it. By the way, today's contest, I think today's contest was amazing. I'm planning to do a graffiti saying, do not do any kind of animal testing. And I hope there's net neutrality when it comes to getting that message to all of them. Beautiful. And Samir, you carry it so well. So good.
Thank you.
Really nice.
Praveen. Let's hear from Praveen Jain. You've been behind the cameras for so long.
Hi. I'll just move to a different room because there's a little bit of background noise where I'm sitting. 1 second.
How do you feel contesting today?
Absolutely fantastic. I had to come at the last moment, but I just enjoyed it, taking the rebuttal role. And I think this is the first time that I'm participating in a debate contest. So it has been a wonderful experience.
Thank you very much. So with that, we will close this session. Thank you, everyone. I just want to make a reminder to you that please visit our clubs when we have our meetings as well. Debatable and Podcasters. We have some amazing speakers and amazing format, which you don't see regularly in a Toastmaster meeting. So join us and explore something different and new. All right. With that, Sayonara, signing off. A very good evening. Bye-bye. Till we meet again. Ciao.
Ciao, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Night.
Good night. Bye.
Bye. See you, Rania. DTM.
Good night. Good night, everyone.